Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this section is called Anger, the Second Gate to Hell, because we know from the Bhagavad Gita there are 3 doors or 3 gates to hell: lust, anger, greed. These are the 3 gates, and Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, every sane man should give these up. So anger is the second. We're going to hear from Yudhishthira about anger. Yudhishthira looked with compassion upon his wife Draupadi. She had suffered so much, and if anything stirred Yudhishthira's heart, it was her suffering, for which he felt he had been the cause, which is true. He was the one that agreed to the gambling. Yes, his heart still burned when he thought of how she was dragged into the assembly hall. The pain of that moment would stay with him for the rest of his life. But this was not the time to make war. Draupadi could not understand the entire situation, so he replied gently to her. O intelligent lady, through anger we may sometimes gain wealth, but anger ultimately destroys mankind. Real prosperity crowns one who conquers anger and brings adversity to one whom anger controls. Anger is the root of all destruction. An angry man commits sin blindly. An angry man will kill even his preceptor. An angry man insults his elders. An angry man cannot distinguish between right and wrong. There is nothing an angry man might not say or do, even to the point of sending himself to death's abode. Knowing this, I will not indulge in anger, O Draupadi. Rather, I will strive to control it. And on the other side, who was always angry? Duryodhana. He was always angry, always jealous. And later on it's pointed out, even by his father, Dhritarashtra says to Duryodhana, you have all the wealth of the Pandavas, you have their kingdom, you have more than enough to enjoy, and still you're not happy? So that's the problem. Greed. In Duryodhana's case, lust, anger, he's the epitome of all 3. He's it. He's the poster child for the age of Kali. There he is. Whenever I think about Kali Yuga, I just think, oh yes, Duryodhana, there he is. All right, now the next part ties in. So on one hand you have anger. Now let's see what Yudhishthira says now. Draupadi listened respectfully. She knew her husband's grasp of religion and morality was unsurpassed. After all, who is he? He's Dharmaraj. He's the son of Yamaraj, so he's the personification of religion. He was capable of even instructing the demigods. Sitting on a simple mat of kusha grass, Yudhishthira continued. When a weak man is oppressed by one more powerful, he should not display anger, lest he bring about his own destruction. There are no blessed regions in the hereafter for those who destroy themselves. Thus the weak should always control their anger. Only fools praise anger, considering it equivalent to energy. The wise keep anger at a distance. The man consumed by anger does not easily acquire generosity, dignity, courage, skill, or the other attributes possessed by men of character. The wise consider a man of character is one who restrains his wrath. The pious always praise such a man because they understand that a forgiving man is always victorious. One who represses anger, even when antagonized, rejoices in the next world. So there was the incident when Lord Shiva's father-in-law, Daksha, was blaspheming him in the open assembly at the sacrifice. Yet Lord Shiva remained silent. It's a good example. I mean, for someone to get angry like Lord Shiva, ain't nobody better. He is the Lord's anger personified when it comes time for destruction. But he remains, he did not speak a word of retaliation. Very, very difficult if you're in a room and somebody is blaspheming you. And Krishna the same way at the Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna let Shishupal go on and on and on. Only when it was going to be a war right there, Krishna didn't want Yudhishthir's sacrifice to be spoiled. That's when Krishna did something. And besides that, we learn here that Krishna promised Shishupal's mother that he would tolerate 100 offenses. Even he should have been killed from the first one. He promised Shishupal, I'll wait for 100. So at that Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna kept count. I guess Krishna kept count. And he said, his time is up. It's time for him to go. But still, Krishna was very restrained. And when Shishupal was talking, Krishna just sat there, didn't say anything. Amazing. Amazing. Now it says here by Yudhishthir, a forgiving man is always victorious. There's a statement in the Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the reasons why Lord Brahma is in that position is because he has acquired this quality of forgiveness and tolerance. That's one of the reasons why that particular person is in the post of Lord Brahma. Yudhishthir continues, because of this it is said that a wise man, whether strong or weak, and even if in difficulty, should always forgive his persecutor. And a lot of times over the years, people have asked me confidentially, they have written to me asking me, and I've always said, best policy, forgive and forget. Best policy. By now, Yudhishthir's brothers had gathered and were listening. Yudhishthir went on describing the glories of forgiveness. So we'll stop here and we'll do that next. Everybody chant the Mahäbhärata.